After receiving the grim diagnosis that his dog had terminal cancer, a man made a commitment to lengthen their walks so she could fully enjoy her remaining days. On one occasion, as they were enjoying the sunny outdoors, he decided to capture the moment with a selfie. However, on revisiting the photo, he was shocked to see an alarming figure in the background. What did he see in the photo? Could it be something sinister lurking nearby? Welcome to Wonderbot Animals. Robert had initiated a heartfelt practice of capturing selfies with Bella at every new park, forest or lakeside they visited. He aimed to collect these moments to look back on fondly after Bella was no longer with him. Despite the veterinarian's definitive prognosis that the cancer had aggressively spread and that removing Bella's affected limb would only slightly extend her life, Robert was determined to cherish every moment they had left. Thus, he found himself wandering through the forest, making the most out of the time they had together. As they ventured through the woods, Robert knelt, beckoned Bella over, and quickly took a photo. So adorable, he thought. He then pocketed his phone and followed Bella as she energetically roamed through the trees on her 3 frail legs. The serene day, filled with birdsong, momentarily distracted him from the reality that Bella, his steadfast companion through personal upheavals, would soon be gone. Bella had been his rock during difficult times, including when his wife had left and his family had relocated. The thought of losing her weighed heavily on him. To break free from these gloomy thoughts, Robert checked their latest selfie, hoping for a smile. Normally, Bella's quirky expressions would brighten his day, but this time the photo only brought a sense of dread. As he looked up from his phone, the forest's ambiance shifted to an eerie stillness, the cheerful background noises abruptly pausing, enhancing his apprehension. Robert wondered if the unsettling image was a figment of his imagination or if there was something more sinister at play. Just then, Bella's alarmed barking at a nearby bush suggested a real danger was near. Trying to remember if he had heard any stories about dangerous animals in the area, Robert reassured himself. The forest was known to be tranquil, frequently visited by families, and generally avoided by wild animals. With a deep breath, Robert steadied his nerves, refusing to succumb to his fears. However, as they halted, with Bella still cautiously eyeing the bushes, the brightness of the day dimmed, and a quick blast of wind coursed through the woodland, causing the tree leaves to flutter. Robert felt a surge of adrenaline. Was it his imagination running wild, or was there actually something lurking nearby? Feeling his owner's anxiety, Bella let out a soft whimper and pressed against his leg, seeking reassurance. Gathering his nerve, Robert glanced backward but spotted nothing. Nevertheless, Bella intermittently voiced her concern, intently staring in the same direction. At this point, Robert recognized the urgency to leave the woods swiftly. The unnerving feeling of being observed burdened him as he secured Bella's leash, and they started to exit the woodland. The eerie sense he had of the forest being sentient and monitoring them intensified his apprehension. The constant sound of Bella expressing her alertness heightened his worry. Quickening his pace, Robert aimed to elude the invisible pursuer. He bore in mind the challenge of their escape due to Bella's 3-leg limitation, which restrained her speed. Yet, as Bella's alerts escalated, so did Robert's fear. She often glanced back, emitting a defensive growl towards an unseen entity. Robert's steps became even faster. His primary goal was to depart the woods before the enigmatic entity could reach them. Abruptly, Bella halted, pulling on the leash, and took a moment to scrutinize the surroundings by sniffing the air, her ears attentive to any sound. Observing her closely, Robert saw she couldn't track down a clear scent. Gently encouraging her with a leash tug, they resumed their march. Nevertheless, just as they felt a glimmer of hope for safety, a significant footprint appeared on their trail. The overnight rain had preserved the impression clearly, confirming their suspicions of being stalked by an unidentified entity. Robert's heart throbbed as he inspected the footprint. It was huge, far beyond any he had seen before. The footprint's size and depth indicated a gigantic being, leaving him intrigued yet scared. A shiver travelled down his spine. He dashed towards the refuge of his vehicle, pulling Bella's leash with urgency. Bella's barking persisted, and now Robert could distinguish heavy footsteps trailing them. The sound seemed to amplify in the woodland, mirroring the rapid beat of Robert's heart. The car was his only hope to evade the entity tailing them. After a strenuous 10-minute sprint filled with pure adrenaline, Robert caught sight of his vehicle, a wave of relief enveloping him. Yet, events took a sudden twist. In an unforeseen moment, Bella yanked on the leash in a different direction, escaping his grip. Robert yelled out, his heart dropping as he witnessed Bella dash further into the woods, her loud barks fading. Desperately, he called out to her, but she kept plunging deeper into the forest. Before we continue, like this video to help it reach 12K likes, share and subscribe to our channel. Robert couldn't abandon Bella and knew he had to locate her before things worsened. Despite his dog's limited time, he refused to allow her life to be cut short prematurely by a mysterious entity. From weariness to resolve, Robert re-entered the woods, tracing Bella's path. He followed the sound of barking that reverberated among the trees, propelling him forward through thick foliage, eager to reunite with his steadfast companion. Approaching a standstill, Bella was barking furiously at a cluster of dense shrubbery. Moving forward with caution, Robert wondered about Bella's unusual behavior. Her barking intensified as he got closer, and his heartbeat quickened as he tried to discern the cause of Bella's focus. He pondered various scenarios. Perhaps a wild creature, someone else, or the elusive figure they encountered previously. Drawing closer to his dog, he was confronted by a daunting sight. From the bushes emerged a huge bear, issuing a deep growl. Robert instinctively retreated as the bear moved forward, showcasing its paws threateningly. This was the entity he believed he had glimpsed in the photograph with his dog. His earlier suspicions were confirmed. As Robert evaluated the situation, he realized the gravity of being so close to a bear, understanding the importance of staying calm to keep the animal at bay. Bella, however, displayed no sign of fear. She boldly faced the enormous bear without flinching. Admiration filled Robert as he observed Bella bravely confronting the bear. Despite being a young three-legged dog, she was prepared to face any threat to protect Robert. He shared the same protective instinct towards her. He sought a way to de-escalate the situation without endangering them. He tried to draw Bella away, but she moved even closer to the bear, forcing Robert to keep his distance from the unfolding danger. The pride in Robert's heart for his dog swiftly turned into sheer alarm. His voice shook as he attempted to call Bella back, yet she stayed put. What happened next took Robert by complete surprise. He watched, astounded by Bella's courage, as she greeted the bear in a gesture of peace. Expecting an aggressive reaction, Robert was instead struck by the bear's sudden serene and almost melancholic shift in demeanor. This turn of events left Robert confused. Bella's amiable gesture appeared to tranquilize the bear, and he observed, bemused, as the once intimidating animal mellowed. The bear then retreated slowly, with Bella advancing slightly. As both the bear and dog started to leave, they glanced back at Robert, as though inviting him to join their departure. He continued his efforts to persuade Bella to follow him, yet he began to accept that she had more pressing matters at hand. So, filled with caution, Robert trailed behind. The duo led him on a journey through the forest for a quarter of an hour. His nervousness escalated as they ventured deeper into the forest. The route they embarked on felt almost dreamlike, meandering through territories he had never ventured into before. His intrigue soon overpowered his apprehension, leaning on Bella's natural instincts for guidance. Throughout their trek, the bear and the dog continuously interacted with him, either growling or barking to signal him to keep pace. Finally, they reached a dilapidated cabin, its worn-out appearance indicating years of neglect. This sight captivated Robert. The bear, showing a notable familiarity with the surroundings, headed towards the cabin with a determined gait, with Bella in tow. Robert, albeit hesitantly, decided to follow them inside. Leaving Bella in the company of a bear was not an option for him. Inside, the cabin was nearly empty, save for a decrepit chair in one corner and a door hanging off its hinges. A strong, unpleasant stench of decomposed fish pervaded the air, causing Robert to recoil. He considered momentarily the cabin's past inhabitants and their lives before his attention was drawn back to Bella and the bear's movements deeper in the cabin. The cause of the odor quickly became clear. Remnants of fish heads concealed in nesting material, evidently the bear's den. The sight and smell made him grimace, and he suddenly realized he was alone in the room. Despite the cabin's compact size, both Bella and the bear had vanished from sight. Calling out for his dog, Robert was greeted by a loud bark from behind a door. Knowing he had to proceed, but unsure of what awaited him, Robert cautiously stepped into the next room. There, he found Bella and the bear sitting on the floor, facing away from him and emitting soft moans. Witnessing their companionship was an unusual yet touching scene. It was evident there existed a profound bond between them, and he observed carefully, trying to grasp the nature of their connection. Moving closer, Robert positioned himself near the bear and heard a distressing screech that made him shiver. The bear sounded as though it was in distress. Gazing down, he noticed a large opening revealing a deep pit beneath. The floor had given way, exposing what appeared to be a crude basement of concrete and earth. Narrowing his eyes to get a better look, he discerned 3 small bear cubs at the bottom, calling out to their mother. Overwhelmed with compassion for the helpless cubs, Robert finally understood the bear's motives. She had not intended to lead them into harm's way. She was guiding them to her trapped offspring, hoping they could assist her in freeing her young ones from the hole. His mind was buzzing, figuring out how to safely extricate the young bears. The hole was deep and its sides were sharp, rendering it impossible for the young bears to escape by themselves. Yet, the presence of concrete at the bottom hinted at past human access to this area, suggesting there were stairs somewhere. He immediately contacted emergency services for help, detailing the predicament and the need for a swift rescue of the young bears. Then, he started searching for the staircase. In a hidden room, he stumbled upon the remains of what used to be a staircase and managed to make his way down to the lower level. As he went down, he whispered to the young bears, aiming to soothe them and keep them from moving too much. To his amazement, the small bears seemed to understand his intention to help them. They became silent, their scared eyes observing him as he arrived at the bottom. He carefully lifted each young bear, embracing them as he navigated the stairs back to the surface. Once he was back up, he tenderly placed the young bears next to their mother. She rubbed her young ones affectionately, relieved to have them by her side again. Robert felt a warmth in his heart witnessing the family reunion. Just as Robert concluded the rescue of the young bears, the emergency team made it to the cabin. They had brought medical supplies to check on the young bears' well-being and a tranquilizer in case the mother showed aggression. Nevertheless, she watched over them calmly, seemingly placing her trust in the humans helping her family. The wildlife rescue group was quick and proficient, checking the condition of the young bears and offering the required care. After making sure the young ones were safe and healthy, the group led the bear family to a nearby wildlife refuge, providing them with a secure place to recuperate before returning them to their natural setting. Robert and Bella watched as the wildlife rescue team and the bears departed the forest area. He couldn't shake off a feeling of accomplishment for his role in saving the lives of the bears. Bella showed her happiness with a lively wag of her tail. Robert was aware of the positive difference they had made in the lives of these wild beings, enhancing the entire experience for him. Reflecting on Bella's courageous approach towards the bear, he pondered over what allowed her to engage so boldly with such a formidable being. It was possible that her compassionate disposition and understanding had resonated with the bear, forging an extraordinary connection. Robert was thankful for having observed such a remarkable interaction across species. As they headed back to the SUV, dusk started to envelop the forest, bathing it in a cozy light. The day's events were unexpected and full of action, yet Robert was thankful for what had unfolded. he had experienced a profound moment with his dog, a memory to hold on to forever, long after she was gone. The ride back was silent, providing Robert with the time to ponder over the day's happenings. Bella lay quietly in the rear seat, winding down from her eventful day. As the days passed, Robert frequently made trips to the animal sanctuary to monitor the bears. Watching the bear family flourishing in their new habitat delivered a feeling of fulfillment to the extraordinary event. He gradually accepted that Bella's time was nearing its conclusion, and he dedicated himself to making the most of their remaining moments, creating precious memories and cherishing the unique connection they had. Bella meant more to Robert than simply an animal companion, and her memory would always hold a place in his heart. Such a touching conclusion. How would you react if your animal companion was given only a few more months to live? Have you ever witnessed such bravery and compassion in your animal friend? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more amazing tales. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.